In this video, we're going to take a look at the develop settings in Lightroom and how to make them into a preset or copy and paste them onto other photos. This can be really useful if you have a bunch of photos that are taken in the same settings under the same lighting conditions. For example, if you were a portrait photographer, this would be extremely useful because every time that you take a different portrait, it's always going to be under the same settings if you have a studio. The same can be said with your vacation photos. If you take a bunch of photos on the beach, odds are you're going to use the same settings and the lighting conditions are going to be the same. Even if the conditions change a little bit, you can always modify the settings after applying a preset. So this can save you a lot of time when you're trying to make your vacation photos pop. So as usual, I'm going to use this picture of the moon that I took in Markham, Ontario back in 2015. I took it with a Canon T3i, so it's by no means a newer modern camera. So this photo here I've already applied settings to get the look that I want for the moon. And if I go down to the bottom, onto the film strip and click on another photo, you'll see the color's much different and no settings have been applied. None of the settings have been changed. Now you can see I have many photos of the moon that are similar, and to have to go in and make changes would be quite cumbersome and take a lot of time. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the photo that I've already made the setting changes to. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go up to the left here where it says presets and click on the plus icon to add a new preset. Then I'll go to create preset. Now in this pop-up, I get the option to choose which settings I want to use. I can also use auto setting. Now because I don't want to use auto settings, I want to copy the settings that I have, I'm just going to leave everything selected. There are some settings you may not want to save, but for this demonstration, I'm going to leave them all in place. As you get used to making different presets, you can choose different settings to save. For example, you may not want to use the radial filters or any of the other filters. Split toning may also be something that you don't want to carry over into the filter. You may just want to have your basic settings along with noise reduction or clarity, or maybe you don't want to use noise reduction. It's entirely up to you and what the circumstances are that you're going to use this preset for. So once I've established what it is that I want to do, I'm just going to go up to the top here where it says preset name and type in demo preset moon. I'm going to want to add that to a new group. You'll see over here all the presets are kept in group. So I'll go to new group and I'll type in demo preset group and then click create. Now that everything's established, I'll click finish. And you'll see over here under presets, I have my new group and inside I have my new preset. Now all I have to do is click on the photo that I want to apply this to, and then click on the preset. You'll notice when I hovered over top of it, it automatically updated, but it didn't apply the preset until I clicked it. This gives you a way to preview what the preset will look like on the photo before you actually apply it. Now another thing we can do is right-click on one of the photos that has the presets applied. Go to Develop Settings, and go to Copy Settings. That's the same as the preset window, except we also have spot removal, crop, and a couple of other options. You may not want to include crop, but if you have a bunch of dust or some form of debris on your lens, using spot removal might come in quite handy if it's always in the same spot. So now, since I've decided I just want to take all of the settings from the original photo, I can just click on copy down here at the bottom. What that's going to do is simply copy all of the settings into memory. Now when I want to apply the settings to a photo, I can just click on it, right-click, go to Develop Settings, and then go to Paste Settings. Alternatively, there's a shortcut key that isn't listed in that menu. Press Ctrl plus Shift plus V, and it'll apply the settings right away. Now this is handy if you only want to apply this to one or two photos. You see here, if I select 3 photos, and then I press Ctrl-Shift-V, it only actually pastes the settings to one of the photos, the photo that's selected and shown on the screen. The other 2 are not changed. Now there's another way that we can do this and apply it to all of the photos. It's quite simple. Select on the first photo that has the settings applied to it, and then select all the photos you want to apply the settings to. Then over here, on the bottom right, we're going to click on Sync. So let's try that again. I deselect all the photos. Now I select the one photo I want to take the settings from. select Additional Photos, and click on Sync. There's that screen again asking me what it is that I want to apply. When I click OK, it applies all of the settings onto all of the different photos. So you can see it doesn't exactly work out for all of them. And the ones that I haven't selected, it didn't apply to. This one's way too bright. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to use it. Some of them will be too dark. That's okay. I can just click on Reset and it reverts it back to normal, or its original state. All of these photos, they seem to be okay. But there is one picture down here. It's a little bit on the dark side. So let's see, we'll apply the setting. And there it is, it's too dark. Well, that's okay. It gave me a base that I can work with. It's using the same color profile. It's using all the other settings. So I'll just increase the exposure a little bit until it's bright enough for me. Now you can see that doesn't affect the original preset. I can always click and change it back. See, now I'm making changes again. And I can come over here. It hasn't affected the other images that I've applied the preset to. Preset remains, but I can still modify an image after applying it. So it gives me a nice base to start from. And there you have it. That's the simplest way to create a preset, copy and paste, or sync settings from a photo that you've edited in post in Lightroom to others in the film strip. Thanks for watching Loving It on Phuket. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you'll know when the next video is posted. In the meantime, check out some of these other great videos from Phuket, Thailand, Southeast Asia, and beyond. Happy traveling!